Hello, Cub Scouts of 2nd Northmead. Welcome to another weekly instalment. We had some news this week that we'll be getting back to school. Hooray! Although not for several more weeks yet. Boo. But the good news is eventually we'll get back to the hall. Yay! But not for several more weeks yet. Boo. So, I guess it's good and bad. But so long as you're keeping happy, so long as you're keeping busy, so long as you've got things to do, and I know you've all got schoolwork to do. You're probably getting Zoom calls every day, Zoom sessions. Well, I've got some good news. We're having a Cub Scout Zoom session. Not this coming Tuesday, but the next Tuesday. And we're joining in with the Cub Scouts of North Rocks, okay? Having a big session together. So there's details coming about that very soon. That's something to look forward to. We can see each other on camera and say hello. But of course, I'm here every week to say hello and have a chat to you. So, just to jog your memory, have you got a piece of string or a bit of rope or something that you might grab? Because we're going to do the reef knot. Right over left and under, left over right and under. Now, you guys want to try that at home? Because I know that quite often one of the mistakes that we make when we do this is we go right over left and under, and then what happens is we then go right over left and under. And when you do that, you get a wonky knot. It doesn't look right. It comes up twisted and bent. So the key to this is to do right over left and under, and then left over right and under. And there we get the world famous reef knot. Okay, so practice that. We'll do a little bit about knots today. We're going to check in with a couple of Cub Scouts. We have someone's done some great cooking that we're going to have a look at. So on with the show. Hey guys, have a look at this creature here. You've probably seen one of these before in your backyard. This is a blue-tongued lizard. Blue-tongued lizards are probably the most common of the larger lizards that you find in the suburban backyards. Now, this girl here, I think she might be pregnant. She's been hibernating for the last 3 or 4 months in the middle of winter, and with another one, with a male and a female. Now, I've turned the heat lamps on, so she's really warm at the moment. But this large belly does tell me that she might be pregnant, which is pretty cool. What I love about these guys, although everyone thinks that they're slimy and they're disgusting, but they're not. They're actually not slimy at all. They've got very similar feelings to the snakes that, of course, I've brought to cubs along and you guys have all held before. But what I do love about these guys is their blue tongue. And you can see her sticking her tongue out constantly here, just licking the air, just getting a feel for what's going on. Isn't that cool? So if you guys ever see a blue-tongued lizard out in your backyard or in the bush, make sure to leave it alone. Make sure not to hurt it, okay? Because these guys, they're very friendly. Look at this girl here. Super friendly. She's not biting me or scratching me. Although when I do put her down, she does want to move pretty quick. See? She's just running away. Oh, there she goes. Excellent. All right. Well, that's a little bit on lizards. Okay, guys, the clove hitch. The clove hitch is used to tie a rope to a structure, okay, to a pole usually, and it's often the knot that we use when we start a more complex knot, like a square lashing or a round lashing. So what do? We go over the pole. We swing it back around. This time we go across the pole. Okay, we go across the rope, I should say. So we're going across the rope, and then we feed it back through on that side. And that's it. That's your clove hitch. It's as simple as that, okay? So once you've got your clove hitch in place, that then locks in the rope for you to then start your other knots, okay? That's the clove hitch. That's a cool one, huh? Oh, g'day Cubs. You've just caught me in the garden. I'm, as you can see here, I've got some garden beds. Actually, they're vegetable gardens, so this is not a garden of flowers, but a garden where I'm going to plant things. Do you know, you probably know this, but you may not. If you want to buy, for example, strawberries, you want to eat strawberries, in Australia, you can eat strawberries any day of the year. But the thing is that not always, the strawberries aren't always coming from Australia, because you probably know that fruit and vegetables come in seasons, okay? So there might be a fruit or a vegetable that is a summer vegetable or a summer fruit, but you eat it in winter. And that's because they bring it in from overseas. So I want to ask you a question. If we looked at some different fruits that you like to eat, do you know if they're a summer or a winter? For example, mangoes. Are mangoes a summer fruit or a winter fruit? What about broccoli? Is broccoli a winter fruit or a summer fruit? Oh, vegetable. Ha! It's not a fruit, let's be honest. Heck, man, if you were having fruit salad with broccoli in it, that'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? So, are you aware of what fruit is in season? Or what comes from overseas? It's worthwhile knowing. And you know, if you ask an older person, I guarantee you that they would know that information. That's because back when, 50, 60 years ago, when they went to the shops, they could only buy food that was in season, because importing of fruit and food wasn't a thing back then, okay? It took months and months on ships, and planes were very expensive. So back then, they would only eat strawberries at a certain season. They would only eat watermelon in a certain season, okay? So have a little look. We might come back and do a quiz shortly, and I'm going to ask you what fruits are summer and what fruits are winter fruits. Cool. So Cub Scouts, if you ever go to the shops and you buy a packet of seeds for fruit and vegetable, on the back of these packets of seeds, it's got a picture of Australia, okay, map of Australia, and it's broken down into colours. So if you have a look, Sydney is in this blue section, okay? So in the blue section, we've got tomatoes. It tells you when to plant them. It says to plant them in spring or in summer, which tells us that tomatoes are a summer food, okay? Whereas if you have a look at, for example, broccoli, okay? Broccoli, again, looking at the map of Australia, it says to plant broccoli in summer, autumn to winter. So it's more of a winter food, okay, than it is a summer food for broccoli. And if we have a look at, for example, lettuce. Lettuce is great because what it tells us with lettuce is that you can grow it all year round. Okay, so lettuce is an all year round food. Isn't that interesting? So there are so many different things that you can plant in your garden throughout the season. Okay, for example, it's a good time now to plant pumpkin. It's a good time now to also plant watermelon. Okay, it's a good time to plant spring onions. It's a good time to plant peas. It's a good time to plant beans. Okay, so if you have an interest in gardening, now's a good time because we're just starting to get warmer, and it's best to start during autumn or spring to plant so that they can grow and then they're ready by the summer or the winter. Let me ask you a question. Do you know which foods, when you go to the fruit and veggie store, which are summer foods and which are winter? Something to learn, something to maybe ask your parents or carers about, to learn which fruits are seasonal for summer and which are winter. Meaning that if you buy a fruit, knowing if it's summer or winter seasoned, then you'd have a fair idea whether it was grown locally or whether you got it from whether it was imported from overseas. Isn't that interesting? All right. Well, good luck gardening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Cub Scouts, I have in front of me today Mr. Kobe. Woo! Hello, Kobe. How you been, mate?
Good.
We haven't seen you for a while. We haven't seen you for about 7 weeks now. What you been up to, mate?
I've been riding with my friends.
Really? Riding your bike? So tell me, have you got a bike, have you?
Yeah.
What kind of bike have you got? BMX or a mountain bike? Or
BMX.
you got a BMX? Mad, okay. And how's school?
Good. But I'm at home.
You're at home. Oh, yeah. So is everybody at the moment. Everyone's at home. So let me ask you a question. Out of 10, how do you rate homeschooling between 1 and 10?
6.
So what do you rate normal school then out of 1 and 10?
Probably 8.
So you'd prefer to be in school if you could. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let me ask a question. During these times we've been in lockdown at home, have you been doing any good things for your parents, helping them out, cleaning, cooking, anything like that?
Ish.
Did you just say ish?
Yeah.
Does that mean a little bit or a lot bit?
A little bit.
Oh, Kobe. Okay, well, listen. We're focusing on 3 badges at the moment: environmental, cooking, and also the creative badge, okay? So can I set you a challenge to either look at doing the badge for the environmental side, where we look at recycling and things like that, or maybe cooking, where you present some cooking? On this video today, we've actually got one of our Cubs, Aiden, who's achieved the cooking badge. Or thirdly, looking at something creative. And some of our Cubs in the other videos have shown me some great artwork that they've been working on during lockdown. Would you like to go through any of those challenges?
Maybe.
Which one?
The cooking, maybe.
Awesome. If you could do a cooking video for me and present it to us in the next week or 2, that'd be awesome, mate.
Okay.
Cool. Now, lastly, is there anything else that you want to say to all the Cub Scouts out there?
Be safe.
Oh, I love it, mate. Special words. All right. Well, you take it easy, man, and we'll see each other soon. Woo! See you, buddy. Bye.
Okay, so do you remember the information we did last time? The instructions when you were throwing and catching were: 1, spread those fingers. Secondly, keep your eyes on the ball. Can you remember what happened when I didn't keep my eyes on the ball? Do you remember? That's right, so remember, spread your fingers, keep your eyes on the ball, and make sure you always watch the ball. Okay, now today's lesson is about how to throw a ball overarm, an overarm throw. So if you have a tennis ball, or you've got your ball sock, hold the ball in your favorite hand. My dominant hand is my right hand. Stand sideways on. Now, my teacher taught me 75 years ago how to throw a ball, and he said, pretend it's an apple, bite the apple, and then try and scratch your back. So watch, bite the apple, scratch your back, then with your weight on your back foot, throw the ball. Okay, let's do that again. bite the apple, scratch your back, lean back, and throw. Uh-oh. So maybe you need to find a big open space. If you've got a space around your house like I have, this is my local park, you might be able to come up and practice your throwing in a bit more open space. Okay, let's remember what we were doing. Get a little ball or your ball sock, bite the apple, scratch your back, and throw. We'll do that again. Bite the apple, scratch your back, and throw. Wow, that's better. Now, if you have a local park, you might be able to use some of the apparatus and the equipment to help you practice your throwing. Let's go over and see. Okay, let's go and see what the equipment, how we can help practice our throwing with all the pieces of equipment here. Okay, well look at this. There's a nice climbing frame there we could use as a target. So we could practice aiming and throwing. Throwing through the target. Okay, that's one way of doing it. And maybe another way using this piece, we could throw it right over the top. Remember, bite the apple, scratch your back, and throw. Yes! Now, what have we got here? Oh, there's a pole, just a post. We could use that as a target. Bite the apple, scratch your back, and oh, bingo! And even the swings. Good shot. We could use the swings as a target, or even above the grid we could throw it over. So we could throw between the chains, or we could aim at the seat. Still biting the apple, scratching our back. Oh, so you've got plenty of variety that you could choose to practice your throwing. All right.
Hey Cub Scouts, how you going? Just wanted to quickly ask you, how are you going with doing good deeds? Remember we've spoken about this several times now, doing something nice for somebody else. Well, I've got something to tell you. Today, somebody did a super round of act of kindness to me, and I was so impressed. Okay, I went to my door, and you know what was at my door? You know what was at my door? This. Look at this. Can you see this? This is faux noodles. Okay, someone in our Cub Scout group, made faux noodles and was kind enough to give some to me. Isn't that a wonderful act of kindness? Okay, I thought that was fantastic, and I thought I'd share that with you. That's cool. Okay, Cub Scouts of 2nd Northmead. Well, we're close to the end of our video now, and I thought I'd again just remind you all that in the not too distant future, we'll be back in the hall and back with each other again. We obviously are looking forward to hopefully being able to go back to school again soon, as they announced. And I'm sure for some of you things are a bit difficult in learning from home and all this new way of learning, but everything will come good, and that's a promise. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to the Scout Hall. I'm also looking forward to seeing you all when we do our our Zoom meeting in a couple of weeks' time. Okay, and that's, as I said, with the Winston Hill Scouts. That should be a lot of fun. So we'll look forward to that, and don't forget to keep being nice to people. Keep looking at opportunities to help around the house, to cook, to clean, to do what Cub Scouts are supposed to do, okay? And that's do your best, okay? Make sure whatever you do the best that you can, okay? All right, that's enough from me. Have a good week ahead, guys. See you later.